The creative pull has been strong on me. I took a little bit of a writing break last week. Our family was on spring break, and I had planned to take a break during that time just to be fully present with my family. But I decided to keep that plan. We are also going through kind of a private personal challenge. And so the timing was really, really good for that. I want to let you know that I do have my red lipstick on. I have my red clogs on, which I will demo. Okay, you just heard them, right? Here they are. Lovely. Very, very loud in our house. Do you like that? I just decided I sometimes I do some silly things. And for example, our daughter was born prematurely and she was in the NICU for about 3 months. And so during that time, I kept a pair of little teeny tiny diamond earrings that had been my great grandmother Aisley's. And I kept those in the whole time that she was there. And I just said, I'm not taking these out till she comes home. So I'm kind of doing the same silly thing with my clogs. I just decided I love clogs. These are my inside shoes. I'm kind of considering our property inside where other people are not coming. So inside the house, in our backyard, I'm just wearing these clogs and just clomping all over the house till the quarantine is lifted. So I'm also in workout clothes, and I keep seeing all these things online about, get out of your yoga pants. But I'm looking at my workout clothes as kind of a cue for me for that habit loop that I want to be in. So if I'm in those clothes, I am going to go work out. So that is why I am embracing the yoga pant fashion spree that I'm on right now. So if you don't know me, and by the way, I see my friend Paula here right now. I miss you, Paula. If you don't know me, my name's Lori Tom, and my mission in life is spreading writing love. I am a writing teacher, a real live writer, and I just believe down to my bones that using writing as a tool to just make meaning of all things life, makes your life better. And I show you ways to do that are painless and fun and doable and all those good things. So what this live is going to be about is something very tiny. I don't know about you guys, and by the way, I would love to know about you guys, but my bandwidth is a little small right now. In the first weeks of this quarantine, I came out of the gates super strong. I'm like, go girl, go girl. And I just wanted to serve. And so I did this Family of Writers class, and it was such a beautiful experience, like life-changing, this is powerful experience. And that happened because people showed up and shared their hearts. Lovely Paula Gallimore, who she is one of my business colleagues and a friend. I'm going to just call you friend now. We've never met face to face, but I know this woman now. I know so much about her because she was a participant in that class, and she shared just absolute beautiful, beautiful writing. And so many people in that class did that. So I came out of the gates super strong on that. Teaching Family of Writers is my true, true love. I do it face to face with kids and parents. And then I was like, I'm going to do this moon journal thing. And then I was like, okay, I need to dial it back a little bit. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. And the timing was good because we were having some completely non-COVID-19 virus related stuff. And we were going on spring break. And so, hello, people coming in. We were going on spring break here in Palos Verdes, where I'm coming to you from. And I just was getting a really strong message in my heart. For me, it was coming from God. It was coming from signals that my body was telling me. But one of my goals this year is, hello, Aiko. I hope I'm saying your name right, and with your mama. Um, and hi, Lisa. Oh, this is so nice to connect. Like, I try to stay away a little bit. Like, I was really trying to listen to what my mind and my body and my God were telling me. Like, you need to be still for a hot minute. You need to be a little quiet. Like, connect with the beloveds in your home, connect with what's happening in your backyard with flowers and birds, and just think. And so, it kind of last week kind of became this space of little productivity, but massive thinking. And that opens up this white space for big creativity to happen. And I'm a writer. I process life through words and writing and talking to y'all. And that gave me some white space. But then that pull for me to be creative and share things and write again comes back. And like, I can't resist it. It's like this tide. It just keeps pulling at me, which is a really good thing because for me, it's one of the best self-care things I can do. So I have a little tiny thing I want to share with you today. And it's metaphorically, physically, literally tiny. I looked on my bookcase, that one right back there. These are like touchstone books for teaching and teaching writing, learning about writing. They're not my fiction books, although those are my journals down there. But if I go down here, like this row right down here, that's my to be read shelf. Those are all my books that I've got on deck to read. And thank goodness this year, my plan was to read my to be read shelf. But I also, that's my journal. I also have this little collection of tiny books. And these tiny books inspire some tiny writing. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. I'm just going to introduce you to these tiny books. And then I'll probably, like, just 10 minutes a day this week, pick up one and see if I want to do something with it. And then I'll share that in a super casual live with you. So that's what's coming in this live. Now, I do want to give a little backtrack because I feel like there's these big pivots that are going to happen in my little writing world that I'm creating here to serve you guys. And something cool has really happened. And I really do think that the something cool, which I'm going to tell you about, came from me sitting still for a hot minute. And in a way, I do have this luxury. I'm not leaving my home right now. My husband is leaving the home and working. My daughter's here. So I am kind of staying put. So my heart goes out to the people who don't have this luxury. I'm not trying to be tone deaf to that. But this time of a little stillness for me and saying it's okay not to produce fits with this aha thing and fits with these tiny little books. So Laura Munson wrote this book called Willa's Grove. And she was on book tour. It's just come out prior to all of us getting quarantined. And I knew her prior to this book. When I turned 50, my husband gave me a present, which I requested. And it was to go to one of Laura's writing retreats. And they're called Haven. And they are in Montana. Now, a story for another time. I dig Montana. Like, I literally almost moved there. Before I got married, I was like, I'm moving to Montana to find a cowboy and teach. So anyway, I ended up not doing that, but for very good reasons. Long story. But when I saw Laura's description of her writing retreat, I had a personal phone call with her, and it was in Montana. I was like, okay, A, this woman's a soul sister, and B, it's in Montana. I'm a going. So I went to this writing retreat, and coming out of that writing retreat, I really was able to finally say, I am a writer, and I birthed a memoir, and it really did change my life. She's amazing. So then, of course, when she came out with this book recently called Willa's Grove, there are two things about this title that strike me hugely. My favorite book on the planet is My Antonia, written by Willa Cather. And here we have a book that has that character's name in it. This book has nothing to do with My Antonia, although it's mentioned. So that hooked me right away. Laura Munson hooked me right away. And this is not a promo for this book, by the way. This is like from the heart. But the grove idea is really cool. So she talks about a grove of aspen trees, which happened to be my favorite tree because I also went skiing all the time in Colorado as a kid. And aspen trees are actually one organism. There are all these trees that shoot up, but it's one organism talking about connection. And that's a real metaphor in this book. And so I loved that. The tagline on this book is 4 women, 1 week, 1 question. And I'm kind of changing this tagline right now. Laura, if you're listening, you should totally use this in your stuff. 1 world, 1 quarantine, 1 question. And the question in Laura's book is, so now what, basically. And so Laura and I have been, communicating back and forth. And it turns out she's going to do a free journaling activity kind of based on the questions from this that's starting on Friday. And I'm going to be joining that. I want to invite you guys to join that. In her description of this, I believe it's going to be kid friendly. My newsletter has information and links about this. I'm going to be writing a blog post a little bit about this. If you follow my Facebook page, which you're here right now, I'll put more links on that too. But I'm definitely going to be showing up for this. It'll be a Zoom call, so I'm showing up for that this week. Then yesterday, I get this announcement that Laura and another writer are going to do a book club that I believe is starting in May. And that other writer is a woman named Jen Loudon. Now, Jen Loudon is also someone I have a connection with because I did a course with her. But this is all the work for this course. And she's like amazing in kind of getting you over your fear of writing, of creating, of really committing to an idea. And she's got a book called Why Bother coming out April 23rd. Well, these 2 women are pairing up. And I'm just saying, okay, that's a message. I'm joining that book club. So I'll put information on that. Just if you subscribe to my newsletter, you will also get that because I'll let everyone know when I send those out. So I just thought that was a really good, important connection thing. The other thing I want to mention, and hi, Kristen, I see you there. The other thing I want to mention is when I left Laura's retreat, one of the things we need to do was to write our statement, our writer's statement. Like, why are we writers? And I have this on my desk. It's this smooth rock that I love. And you will see I'm like totally obsessed with rocks and writing on rocks. I wrote this on a piece of paper and then I Mod Podged the rock. So I'm going to read this to you. I'm going to put on my glasses because it's super small and it's twirly. So I'm going to twirl it. But it says, I am a writer because the process makes me pay attention, and shared stories remind me that we are connected in a world that's delightful and devastating, all in the same breath. And I'm just thinking about our time right now, and I love the idea of connection, even when life is delightful and can be devastating. And um, so, anyway, I hold this tight. It is why I'm a writer. I love hearing your stories. And this is my segue into going into these five teeny tiny books. And I'm just going to preview them for you. It sure seems like books are getting delivered right now. And so if any of these touch you and you might want to go get them, I have no affiliate stuff. I'm not making any money off this. I just want to encourage you also, if you can buy from independent bookstores that are surely hurting right now, that would be incredible. But I'm just going to play with these a little bit this week and see where that takes me and into next week. And again, I'll pop in. So this is a book. I actually found this at Whole Foods and I just couldn't resist it. And I'm going to keep my glasses on because some of the print, because these are small books, some of the print is really small. So this one is in the shape of a hand. I could not resist this book. And when you open it, there are different words and little images. So this one says, it's a puzzle piece here that says, put the pieces together. This one says, has a little strawberry, be sweet. Now, some of the ways I use this, and I will put, okay, let me just give you details, but I'll put this. The author of this book is Lee Redmond, Learedmond. And the publisher is Chronicle Books. So again, this stuff will all be written down for you. I just wanted to let you know. Now, when I first got this, so this one has little flowers, enjoy it while it lasts, they give you suggestions for how to use this. And what I started doing was just opening to a random page and writing a haiku. I write a ton of haiku, and I try to do those every day. I took a break last week, and I'm strangely still not feeling a pull to write haiku. I kind of don't want to be constricted by anything right now. I just kind of want to go sit outside, take this little book, open it to a page, and write something. So let me give you a little example here. This one is a feather, and then it says, take it lightly. And I apologize that my light keeps going in and out on my camera when I move this. But I wrote a haiku on it. This was 9/24/19. Girls, take it lightly. The world will keep spinning round. Just pray and believe. So anyway, this might be something fun to do, and you don't have to do a haiku. You can just do anything you want to do. It could just be let whatever's on the page inspire you and write for 2 minutes off of that, or just go outside and write what you're seeing. So anyway, that's my first little book share. The second one is not really a writing book, but every human who is in any therapeutic or medical profession has told me, Laura, you need to meditate. And I have some very good friends on here right now who know this to be true about me. I resist it in so many ways. And I think that message of stillness right now, I would love to know if anyone else is getting that message too. But this is a kid's book. And I think for me, this is a great, great start. And I just want to offer one little tidbit to here to adults. So my mother-in-law was like literally brilliant, like genius, brilliant. And when she passed away, we found all these kids' books. And they were like nonfiction things explaining like geology and, how things worked and everything. But she had this theory of buying really quality kids' books because it would boil down these essential little nuggets. And that was a great beginning place for anyone wanting to learn something. And so this book is a real beginning place for meditation, and it's written for kids. And so I think this is going to be my start. I have purchased books on meditation that are like this thick. I have online classes. I've wrangled my husband, who's like the total Zen master, just naturally, like, do it with me. Still haven't done it. But this one attracted me. They're rocks. It's called A Handful of Quiet, Happiness in Four Pebbles. And I never know how to say this name, but this is like a meditation dude. That Thich Nhat Hanh, did I say that right? THICHNHATHANH. And so what you do is there just these guided meditations and breathing and thinking of yourself. I'm trying to like the first stone is thinking of yourself as a flower, a mountain, because a flower is fresh, a mountain is solid, water is the other one to reflect, and breathing in, I see myself as space, breathing out, I feel free. So the illustrations are really cool. And the other idea that spurred me onto this, we have collected all these rocks on all our vacations, and I could like write with Sharpie and Mod Podge some of these rocks, or I could just keep it simple and not make a big art project out of it and just walk through my yard and maybe have these stones in my hands or have them placed in the yard as a reminder. And I wasn't raised in the Catholic tradition, but it reminds me of kind of Stations of the Cross. And so anyway, I just think that's something. And the reason I mention this as an inspiration for writing is it creates white space. And I think we need white space to have those creative ideas come to us. So that's something. All right. Now, this is like such a transition, this book. This is one of my favorite books. It's called The Book of 11, and it's by Amy Krauss Rosenthal. She is one of my favorite writers. She wrote picture books, beautiful, beautiful things. And I can do a whole series on Amy Krauss Rosenthal books, but it's Amy, AMY, KROUSE, Rosenthal, ROSENTHAL. And basically, she calls it's very funny. It's adult. This is an adult book. Some of the things are appropriate for kids, but it's definitely for adults. But basically, she makes lists of 11 things that have categories. So 11 thoughts about pennies, 11 foods that don't have calories, 11 cases of feeling torn, 11 really short, really true stories. And this actually inspired, they're right here, a writing piece that I do in Family of Writers, 11 short, really true stories. Like, for example, things that you might not think were true. Like, I got mistaken for Monica Lewinsky. My brother and I both won cars in the same year, et cetera, things like that. So you can also do many different variations on that. On my website, the about page about me is 11 little things. So, or 10, or you can change the number. So anyway, but this is a really fast read. And anytime I read Amy Krauss Rosenthal, I always get a writing idea out of it. It just, I am just looking, kind of like if you were in the Family of Writers, which I think many people who are watching live were, I'm always on the lookout for ideas, for mentor texts that inspire me. And it's maybe one little line or one little word that you can jump off of. But again, all these books are not going to take you a ton of time. You can dip in and out of them when your bandwidth is a little bit small. All right, another one, and you can see that I've used this. This is by Donald Davis, Telling Your Own Stories. And Donald, and gosh, I need to Google, I hope he's still alive. I think I would have heard if he wasn't. He is a master storyteller, like beyond inspiring. And this is a little book of basically story starters. And you can just have conversation about these or write off of them for 20 minutes. But the publisher is August House. And so, for example, can you remember a party or a date you didn't want to go on to begin with? Did you go to summer camp? Take us there for an afternoon or even a night. I'm literally just pulling random pages. Take us on a childhood shopping trip with your mother or another family member. He also has a lot of instructional things in here about like the structure of stories. So if you want to do a little bit deeper dive into fiction or memoir, this is a really great tiny book to get you going. All right, another thing, and Carrie Wanmer, my dear friend, this was actually a birthday present that she gave to me. And I think, I don't know, let's see. I don't know the publisher of this little tiny book. I'm looking right here because it's not on here okay. Compendium, Compendium is the publisher. And, this is just called What I Like About You. And so she wrote all over this book. So I want to give you, so she just wrote, you can see her, I don't know if you can see it very well in here, but it just says, you add so much joy to life. And so she wrote, frankly, my dear, let's see. Anyway, so there's just all these little things. It's just one of those little inspirational books. And I'm trying to find a good page to share with you right now. One of the best things we ever did together was, and Carrie wrote, I don't want to jinx this, but maybe the best is yet to come. So, and you should see, my friend Carrie she's got 2 toddlers right now. And she's like basically doing preschool in her home. Her Instagram page is so adorable right now, what she's doing. So there's a page, and this was actually meant, they're giving you some space to write in this. This wasn't just Carrie ruining a book. But, I appreciate you when, and then she wrote some little details. So little books like this you can find. So another one, this is an Amy Krauss Rosenthal book. And I think this would be really cool to do a modification of. It's called A Week in the Life of Me. And what I'm thinking of, is the days in the life of a quarantine. It just might be a really fun way to document this time. You can see I kind of wrote on this book a little bit because I was going to use it as, it was a week-long trailer trip with my parents in 2016, and I was going to use it as a travel journal. But I can just like put something over this and fix this cover. There's always ways to fix mistakes, but I'll give you some examples. And so again, this is Amy Krauss Rosenthal, and it is Chronicle Books, the same publisher that did the handbook. And so you have day 1, opening moments, looking around this, looking out the window. Oh, here's what I see. Here's looking out the window, looking at the week ahead, colors of the day, looking around me. These things pop out that are these colors. And there, another one, draw a line to identify each response. And so she's got strong, medium, weak, my willpower, me physically, my eyesight. So there's all these just different things. Here's like a little graph you could do. Today at a glance, mark where you land on this grid. Is it a yay day, a busy day, a slow day, an ugh day? And then a note to self, one thing I'd like to remember about this day. And you can just pop in and out. This week's best, this week's worst. Finish these sentences. I'm looking forward to. I so love it when. People who know me well say, yada, yada, yada. And then there's a cute little envelope in here for any mementos from the week. So I might just like put in, you guys can order this yourselves. but I might put like a week in the life of a quarantine and start this next week. I don't know, just some ideas. So I will come back live and give you guys examples and just feedback about what I actually follow through on. I'm kind of putting some routines and, being with my family and keeping us just plugging along over this. But I do know for me that the way I do that best is having some creative time, at least reading books and connecting with you guys. So if you guys have any little tiny books that stand out to you that I didn't mention, I would love to know about those. I'm going to leave you in this moment here. Last night was the full moon, and it is a pink moon. You might want to Google that to see what that is. And it was pouring here last night. I got up early this morning to try to chase it before it set below our hill. I saw a little bit of a glow, and I knew it was there. But I didn't see it. So that's kind of like how we are right now. I know y'all are there. We're all here for each other. We may not see that, but it is shining bright on the horizon. So tonight I will go moon chasing. The skies look billowy white clouds, but we've got some good patches of clear. So take care, everyone. And I will keep wearing my red clogs for all of you. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.